You've been ignoring it for far too long. The question is, why? Your life's biggest decisions are waiting, and you're still not listening. Intuition. It's that inner voice guiding you before your decision is even made. Do you know what hearing it sounds like? Are you ready to hear what's always been there? Can you imagine trusting yourself? I know, it's unthinkable. Imagine being able to fully and truly listen to that quiet certainty inside of you before the noise of fear and opinions take over. Learning to recognize intuition requires two things: attention and trust. The deeper you tune your attention inward, the clearer it gets. It's not perfect, but when you build trust with it, you make fewer decisions you regret. So, what's that inner voice really telling you? Let's find out. Let's be clear. We're not talking about that gut feeling when you place $20 on number 9 in the casino. That's not intuition. It's impulse. That's a guessing game. That's you hoping something works out because you wanted it to. Real intuition is different. Intuition is not random or emotionally chaotic. It's not some magical voice that makes every decision for you. It's a quiet recognition. It's the part of you that notices what your conscious mind is too distracted, too emotional, or too afraid to admit yet. We are sensory beings after all. Every second, you're picking up more than you realize. Tone, body language, patterns, small shifts in behavior. But it's not only about reading other people. It's just as much knowing about yourself, your tendencies, your habits, your history, the choices you usually make, the situations you keep repeating. Sometimes something feels wrong before you have the words for it. It just means your awareness picked up on something before your logic had time to organize it. And that matters because most people don't ignore their intuition because they don't know better. They ignore it because it shows up before they can prove it, before they can explain it, before they can justify it. So they dismiss it, call it overthinking, and completely talk themselves out of what they felt. That's why intuition requires both attention and trust. Because if you're always distracted, always rushing, always asking everybody else what they think, you'll never hear what you already know. So if intuition exists, why don't we trust it? Because trusting ourselves creates pressure. It means you can't keep hiding behind behaviors. It means you can't keep asking everybody else what they think just to avoid making the decision yourself. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. They don't actually want guidance. What they want is certainty and a perfect answer, proof that nothing will go wrong. They want someone else to confirm what they already feel, so if it doesn't work out, they don't have to fully own the choice. But life doesn't work like this. Most of the time, you won't get perfect certainty. You'll get signs, you'll get patterns and clues, you'll get that quiet feeling that keeps coming back no matter how many times you dismiss it. And then you have a choice. You can keep pretending you don't hear it, or you can finally pay attention. Because the truth is, most people don't ignore their intuition because they don't have one. They ignore it because listening to it would force them to take action. It would force them to be honest with themselves. And it would force them to admit they already know something they've been avoiding. Maybe you know the job isn't for you, or the relationship feels off. Maybe you know the habit is holding you back. You know the version of yourself you keep defending is not the version you want to keep being. And that's why Intuition can feel uncomfortable. Not because it's wrong, because it usually points towards something you have to face. You can see this in your own life if you actually pay attention. Maybe you've had a conversation with someone, and nothing they said was technically wrong, but something still felt off. Their words made sense. Their tone didn't. Maybe their behavior didn't match what they were saying. And even if you couldn't prove it in that moment, part of you noticed the difference. Nobody explained anything to you or gave you the full story, but you can feel something had already happened before you got there. That's not magic. That's awareness. Or maybe it has nothing to do with anyone else. Maybe you keep telling yourself you're fine with the job, the routine, the habit, or the life you keep repeating. But every time you think about continuing the same way, something in you tightens. Something feels heavier, like it's pulling your attention towards the truth you keep avoiding. Sometimes it's just the quiet discomfort that keeps showing up until you finally stop pretending it means nothing. And the more honest you are with yourself, the easier it becomes to recognize the difference between random fear and real awareness. Because your intuition is not asking you to panic, it's asking you to notice. So how do you actually begin listening to something you've spent your whole life ignoring? Well, for starters, you stop treating your intuition like some random feeling and you start treating it like something worth observing. That doesn't mean you follow every decision that passes through your mind. It doesn't mean you make reckless decisions just because something feels right for 5 seconds. It means you slow down before you dismiss what you noticed. The next time something feels off, pause for a second. Pay attention to what stood out. It could be the way someone spoke. It could be the way your body reacted before you understood why. Sometimes it's a pattern you've seen before. Other times it's just fear, making the situation feel bigger than it actually is. That's where the work begins. You learn to sit with what you feel long enough to understand it. There's no need to act immediately. There's no pressure to explain it perfectly. And being wrong sometimes is part of the process. But you do have to be honest enough to look at it, because trusting your intuition doesn't mean abandoning logic. It means letting your awareness and logic work together. Your awareness notices, your logic organizes. And the more you practice that, the clearer your decisions become. You stop moving only from pressure, doubt, or other people's opinions. You start moving from attention, from honesty, from a deeper trust in yourself. At the end of the day, intuition is not here to make your life perfect. It's not here to guarantee that every choice works out exactly the way you imagined. It's here to bring your attention back to what you already noticed, what you already felt, and what you kept brushing aside. That doesn't mean you'll always be right. It means you'll start paying closer attention. And that is where clearer decisions begin. Because the more you ignore yourself, the harder it becomes to trust yourself. But the more you listen, observe, and pay attention, the stronger that trust becomes. Not overnight, not perfectly, but through practice, through awareness, through choosing to stop dismissing yourself every time something inside you asks to be heard. Your intuition is not asking you to become reckless. It's asking you to become present enough to notice, patient enough to understand what you're feeling, and grounded enough to decide with both awareness and logic. So the next time that quiet voice shows up, don't rush to silence it. Pause, listen, and give yourself the opportunity to awaken and evolve.